Hey everybody, we are joined by a talented professional pickleball player who is very entertaining to watch, especially because she will do whatever it takes to get a ball that's in play, even if it requires diving or doing the splits. And today we are joined by our good friend, KaSandra Gehrke. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Going real good. So before I get to the questions today from your fellow pro pickleball players, I'd actually like to ask you a couple of questions of my own, if you don't mind.
Sure, I'll allow it.
First off, when you were on our podcast a while back, you revealed that you quit your day job specifically to focus on a career in pickleball. So I want to know, how has that life-altering experience been for you, and what advice would you give to anybody that's considering pursuing a career in the wonderful world of pickleball?
Well, that was, I think, almost 4 years ago now. And so I have not, that's my dog, by the way. I have not gone back. And so it's been really awesome. It's amazing to be able to do something like this. I'm not making millions of dollars. So my advice to you would be, if you really don't care being, broke forever, give out the pro pickleball thing a try. No, totally kidding. But it's something that is definitely hard to do. I think I got in at the right time when things were growing and exploding, and I got really lucky. And I'm hoping I can stay put here for a while and, continue this journey for as long as it will let me take it.
It's crazy to think about, though, isn't it? Like, when we had you on the podcast a few years ago, just it's amazing how different pickleball is now compared to how it was back then, just in 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, it was nuts. I was like probably one of the first people that was actually like, hey, I'm gonna quit my job right now and do this full time. And now, like, it's like pretty normal for all of the pros to just be doing this like by itself. So that itself is pretty wild. People are like, what do you do? I'm like, a pro pickleball player. They're like, oh, how's that going for you? Like, I'm doing all right. Everything's fine. Everything's good here. But it's wild.
At that time, a few years ago, I was just like, wow, like I was jealous on one hand, but on the other hand, I was like, that seems pretty risky. But no, I mean,
Yeah.
you've held up great the last few years, so I say keep it going for sure.
Yeah. Amen. Amen.
But enough of the questions from me. Nobody cares about me and my questions. We want to get to the questions from pro pickleball players. So this first question comes from the extremely talented and popular MVP of Major League Pickleball, Lee Whitwell.
Hey Cass, it's your favorite person here asking you this question. What city has had the most profound impact on your life?
Wuhan. That sucked for a while, right? It's still here. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna have to roll with that.
All right, thanks for the question, Lee. This next question comes from somebody you know very well, and he's also one of the top-ranked players in the game, and that is the one and only Gucci Zane Navratil.
Did you say one of the top ranked players?
I did.
Not sure that's accurate, but I will go ahead and see what he has to say.
KaSandra, who is your absolute least favorite mixed doubles partner and why? Present company excluded. I'm sure I'm your least favorite.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was going to go with him, and that was going to be really easy until he knew that's what I was going to say. So I guess I'm going to have to go with Dave Weinbach. Like, gotta be my least favorite. He was my first basically one to play with. And it was just awful. We couldn't make it work. So we probably won't ever play again together. But totally kidding, Dave. No, we had a good run for a while. I played with both of them. And mixed doubles is actually my favorite event to play because of my wacky style of play. It works well for me because I like to Ernie and kind of sit on my backhand side. So I don't even know if I have a least favorite mixed doubles partner because it is always my favorite event of the tournament that I'm at every weekend.
Nice. But I feel like we got to know, like, why would Zane be the answer? We all want to know that.
He gets in the way of my middle. I mean, I'm clearly like, I've got the middle covered and he's always throwing his forehand in there. And I clearly have the better shot, which is my backhand. And he just gets in my way. So that's actually why we stopped playing together. And obviously, he hasn't won since we haven't played. So, I mean, clearly I am the better mixed player of the two of us.
Right. This conversation actually reminds me of an absolutely classic moment that happened on Zane's edition of Pros Asking Pros Questions when you submitted a question for him. So I think we're going to need to go ahead and play that clip for all the viewers at home to remember that by.
So I've been watching a lot of your mixed doubles lately, and you play with this, I can't remember her name right now, but she's super funny, super pretty, she's a really good player. And I've just noticed your mix style is very different, and you guys seem to have a lot of confusion in the middle. So my question for you is, does the forehand take the middle or the backhand? Because I've seen you guys both do it different times. So just wanted to check and see what your thoughts were.
Move, Zane, get out the way. Get out the way, Zane, get out the way. Move, Zane, get out the way. Get out the way, Zane, get out the way.
Yep. That just happened.
That is too good.
This next question comes from a very talented pro player with one of the most famous celebration gestures in the game. Here's one from the one and only Altaf Merchant.
Listen, I'm here at the U.S. Open, KaSandra, and I just saw you running by. You're wearing a shirt that's like all cut up in the back or whatever. Since you're so like, the spokesperson for Kitch, can you ask him to make a shirt for me? But I want it cut up in the front so everybody can see my dad bod, all right?
So I guess number one, I guess my question almost back would be like, why do we want a cutoff? We can't tuck that in. If we have a cutoff for him, he can't tuck his shirt in. So that makes absolutely no sense because he can't survive without his shirt being tucked into his shorts. So I'm going to say no on that one. I'm not going to make that happen. You said he has like the best celebratory like gesture ever. So do you want to show us what that is? Because I didn't see him do that in the video.
I wish he would have.
I mean, it's basically one of the best 90s boy band pelvic thrusts I've ever seen in my life. So if you guys haven't seen that, you will have to look up basically any of his live videos because he does it every time he plays. So, and it's a very awesome. I mean, it's like it will kill every 90s boy band out there. It's that good.
And I hate to keep throwing things back to Zane, but he did a pretty good impression of it when he was on the podcast. So I think we should maybe take a quick look at that right here.
Altaf does a lot of this. I'll give you this. After a point, he'll go something like this.
Here we go. The Altaf hip thrust. That's pretty good. That's good. I've seen that Altaf hip thrust. All right, this next question comes from a legend in the sport of pickleball. Here is a question from Dave the Badger Weinbach.
Question for the Cass. What does the Badger often say to you to do when the opponent's ball is going out?
He wants me to hit it all the time. He wants me to hit every out ball, which is what I did all the time, and I still do. I'm here to play. So if the ball is going out and it's anywhere near me and I can get a hold of it, I'm going to hit that ball. So you're welcome. I don't know how many times he yelled at me for hitting out balls. Still to this day, every out ball that comes to me. So you know what? It's either fast hands or, don't hit out balls. Like, which one do you want? I can't give you both. So.
Man, I wish I could learn how to not hit out balls. That it kills me every time.
They're yelling it before it's even like we try to watch what they're doing on the other side, but sometimes it's just reaction. It's just they're already yelling and I'm already like striking the ball and I'm like I don't understand.
All right, this next question comes from the lovely and talented Katie Dyer.
Hey, KaSandra, this is your good friend, Katie Dyer. I know all your fans out there want to know what it means when I say to you, no ma'am. Talk to you soon.
One, she loves hot tubs, so that's why I started laughing. Because every trip we went on, if her hotel didn't have a hot tub, she literally had a shit fit. So that was why I instantly started laughing that she did this video in a hot tub. No ma'am is basically, we know Katie Dyer. If you don't know Katie Dyer, she's like the nicest person in the world. And we are like total opposites in how we talk. I would say, don't f***ing hit that ball. And she's going to scream out, no, ma'am, like a little angel. So as I'm cussing up a storm, which I don't ever do, and I've never gotten technicals for, she will yell out as nice as possible, no, ma'am, which is also mostly referring to don't hit that out ball.
All goes back to those out balls.
I know. I've got a common problem here with all partners.
So here we go. It's the final question of the day. And this comes from somebody that isn't technically a pro pickleball player, but she is responsible for one of our favorite pros in the game. And that is your mom, Wendy Maddie. And I think it's safe to say I saved the best question for last, and you're about to see why.
Hey, Cassandra. Mom's got a question for you. If you farted in an elevator and there's people in there, would you own it up, or would you turn and point to your mother and go, Mom, really? Now be honest, because I know the answer to this.
I would definitely own it. I would never blame my fart on anyone else. And because mine you got your own brand that comes out, right? And you know that it's yours, and there's usually no pawning it off. But I have at one point done exactly what she just said. And when you're in an elevator, I mean, there's no escaping, but obviously someone in there did it. And no one really knows when you do, especially if it's silent. You pretty much can blame it on anybody and no one will know who actually really did it. So it's fair game.
Right?
If you're going to let it rip, make sure it's silent, because it's much easier to blame it on everybody else. So
that's right. Great advice. Great advice there. And I love the point that she gave at the end, like very accusatory.
I was not expecting that. That was a good one.
But that's going to do it for another installment of Pros Asking Pros Questions. If you guys like what you're seeing, make sure you give us a like, give us a comment down below. Let us know who you want to see on future installments. But until next time, this is Webby, not Eddie, signing off.
Pickleball addicting and fun, that's no joke. Pickleballing, it's not just for old folks. Pickleball.